12 hours after an early morning fire ripped through 5 structures at the corner of Chicken and Tarpong streets in the airstrip area of San Pedro town, over 24 people watched the smoldering embers of their possessions. The blaze erupted shortly before 1 on Sunday morning, while the neighborhood residents were fast asleep.
My little brother came up and said, "Neri, wake up your husband because there is fire." So we came down the step and he opened the saloon and they opened all the windows. And by that time, I think like the fire engine could have saved that because they take like an hour to reach.
Okay, but where did the fire originated from?
From inside the saloon.
The salon, meaning the shop that you had there?
It started from the back. The fire started from the back.
The crackling noises grew louder as the fire spread rapidly into the other structures.
What woke me up was broken bottles. I thought that there was a fight in front of the neighborhood. So I went outside, and when I saw the neighbors with their children shouting, "Fire, fire, fire." So I came back home and I picked up my little 5-year-old and we started to run back and forth. And then later on I took her over to my sister's house. And then I came back here to give assistance to the neighbors because they're all my neighbors. We all grew up right here. And then my cousin Ines Sutherland is right there with her kids. Then Neri Stark was right here with about 9 families. Amansi is back there with all of her young kids. And then we have other businesses back here. And later on, like 15-20 minutes later, the fire truck comes in. But unfortunately, by the time they roll up the hoses and the water, and then later on, no water pressure, it was a problem.
And while the response time from the fire officials seemed sluggish, authorities were down to 1 man at one point. Shortly after, other off-duty fire volunteers joined in to fight the massive flames. The structure and walls of the homes were literally disintegrated by the intense flames, leaving 9 families displaced.
I have my 3 families, my daughter and my 2 sons with their family, and I have 3 rooms that I rent downstairs, and my little brother that he stay in the saloon.
When the occupants of the homes rushed out and the fire kept consuming the structures, neighborhood residents formed bucket brigades to deter the inferno from consuming other nearby structures.
Then around the corner, people started to shout because the fire started to go through behind the other houses because there's a lot of family homes back here in the forms of rooms. But there was a group of ladies that were just coming up from some party and they formed a bucket brigade and they were able to save all of the back neighborhood right there. Right here we still had two fire trucks. One was in while one was working, the other one was giving trouble. Then when the other one was working, the other one was giving trouble. It could definitely have been worse. It could have been definitely worse. The thing is that, you know, in a fire, seconds look like hours because it is imperative that you control each and every second.
The blaze ripped through the neighborhood like a wildfire in close proximity to the home of Area Representative Manuel Heredia Jr. Heredia expressed his concern on the response time and pledged to take the matter to cabinet so as to equip the department with more human resources.
To my understanding, it has to be, I don't know if the lack of training, because I see them every evening almost going to do training, and I see the vehicles and they do run, they are up and running. When they came, they were running good. What is the problem that they cannot get the fire under control fast? It's a question that needs to be addressed. And definitely as the area representative of this island, and this time it was right in close to my doors, no? And I feel that we need to look as to what is happening, because it is almost every time that a fire has happened in San Pedro, that this type of things occur.
Luckily, no one was injured, but painful to watch as the displaced families searched through the charred remains of what once was their home. Meanwhile, the community has been providing the families with assistance.
Asking the community of San Pedro right here to please come and assist. We're starting a fundraising right there at Fogon to come and bring clothes that are usable so that we could start to give to these families, because all they came out was just with the shirt that they had on their back. And
it is my intention as early as today talk to the owner of the radio station, Mr. Salazar, and see how we can organize a radiothon. It has been done every time that we have had a fire. It has been done and the response has been tremendous. I, on my part, and tomorrow I will speak with NEMO headquarters and see what can be done to alleviate the needs of these people.
The families estimate a total loss of around $300,000 and their buildings were not insured.
Complete loss. Yeah.
Now, Ms. Madera, how do you plan to pick up the pieces? I mean, you guys got to start all over.
I will start right over when I came here in San Pedro 8 years ago. And I'm strong that I will make it again. So I will open my tacos place and work harder now.
The origin of the fire started from the kitchen area and it is believed to have been due to an electrical short. Reporting for Love News, I am Maria Novello.